had colored Christmas lights that I kept up all year.
Yeah.
And it was such just a good vibe. I love Christmas lights. I love the vibe that they...
I do too. That's why I'm thinking white. And then maybe have you help me hang them so I can get them tight enough.
The colored lights are fun because they just have like a warmth to
And
them.
I don't have to buy colored lights. I just have to figure out the light bulbs for the one that's the blues that are burnt out.
Oh, yeah.
Or use the other ones.
I've got a couple.
But my thought was use white and then get them really tight.
Oh, yeah.
Because the white walls and the white lights.
And do. Oh, yeah.
And then we could, if I buy enough white, we could figure out how to either hang it up and around. So it's this whole living room area is lit up like that.
I'm down. I mean, okay.
I will buy white Christmas lights.
Because this is the vibe that I like.
I do too.
I get called a vampire a lot because I just like it dark.
You walked into my house and went, it's dark in here. And it was great.
It was a bad thing.
It was great.
I was happy about it, not mad.
The reason I said those candles is because I really worry about, like, it's probably done because of all the other things with the toxins, but also this, like, strength of the scent.
The ones from the dollar store aren't very strong. I mean, there's probably chemical crap in it, but it's not meth, so, you know.
You could go to Marshall's and buy some because that's really pretty. And if you had one there, and then, like, one or two over there.
I like the dollar store because they're $1. And when I do it, I go overboard.
That's fine.
I bought like 10 of them and I only have a few left now, but.
That's fine. I mean, I'm good because we could line the whole entire TV stand with.
You've got lots of space for candles.
I do.
I'm recording, by the way.
Oh, lovely. We're talking about keeping ambiance in my house for all podcast recording specifically.
Do you need closer?
Could you? Well, no, you're good. I just don't want to rip the mic out. That's all.
Oh, here. So we'll.
Yeah, there we
go. Scoot back then again.
We're having technical difficulties because Amber's been a disaster.
It's not really today. Whoops. It's not really technical difficulties. It's just because surprising by hitting record, which is now my favorite thing to do now.
It was the cord. I was worried about getting the mic close enough, and I saw it.
We're good.
But we're good now. Yeah. I got space to pull it.
So what are we doing, Amber?
So we're doing a You Made Me Watch This, but the problem is it's Christmas movies, and any of them that we would watch, basically we've already seen all of. So I got to pick the movie, and 3 nights ago, was it Friday night? Maybe Thursday night, Friday night. I rewatched Red One, and Jessica went and saw it in the theaters for a $5 surprise movie. Monday night. And as I was watching it, I had a thought of this would actually be an interesting conversation to have.
Yeah.
As it relates to the statement Jessica made is you can find God in everything. So Red One is a Santa Claus movie. Yes. I'm going to pause and put a disclaimer here. Don't listen to it with your children, please.
Again, I feel like that's just a given for all of them.
Yeah, but people are going to see Red One and go, oh, this could be... And then they listen to it with their children.
How many people listen to podcasts with their kids, though?
A lot. People are weird.
Well...
People are weird.
Maybe those little brats need to... Sorry.
I mean, okay. So Red One is a movie where... I'm not going to know the actors. Like, I know The Rock, I know Chris Evans. I have no clue who plays Santa Claus. But Santa gets kidnapped, and Dwayne Johnson, The Rock's character, is the head ELF. I don't remember what it stands for. The head elf in charge. Quite comical. And he has to go find Santa. And the Chris Evans character is a hacker and a bad guy, and he does jobs for hire, and he helps the bad guy, the ultimate bad guy, find Santa and doesn't realize he did it. Anyways, and so the story goes on of the bad guy. What was the legend's name?
Grilla. The Christmas witch.
The Christmas witch has Santa, and she's trying to entrap everyone who is naughty in snow globes, and they need punished. And so it's an interesting story. It's not. I don't know. It's not a well done movie, which is odd to say for a box office movie. It is, but it isn't.
Technically, it's well done. The dialogue is weird, and there's
it is.
The juxtaposition between intense, high stake serious action movie and whimsical, low stakes Christmas movie. It just doesn't quite. It makes it hilarious. It's a hilarious movie, unintentionally, I think, but it just doesn't quite mesh well. It's interesting because it's different. It's a different take on a Christmas movie.
Which reminds me, have you seen the Christmas Chronicles that Netflix did?
No.
Those are about Santa Claus as well.
I don't really like Christmas movies,
and they're fantastic.
Interesting.
I would pay for Netflix just to watch those with you, not for content, but just to watch
Netflix.
them.
I am paying for it for strangers.
Or we just watch it on your Netflix. They are so good. There's 2 of them. Anyways, the reason I was warning is because it's an odd choice for me to pick a Christmas movie about Santa Claus versus Jesus, because we didn't do Santa Claus in my house and I'm not a fan and whatever, but the storyline that got me.
Yeah, I mean,
there were some things in it that I was like, wait, this is actually pretty telling.
The way that Santa is always depicted is as a Jesus archetype in a way.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Especially in this movie.
Yes.
There was a line in there where he's talking to Chris Evans' character, Jack. And about how he knows, he always sees you. He knows when you're awake. He checks the list. He checks it twice. It'd take you a decade. There were some things said that I was like, it does fit the Jesus archetype, but there was the different side of it that I saw. And I was like, ooh.
Well, out with it.
So at the end of the movie, and if you've not watched it, spoiler alert, sorry, you should probably watch it before. You continue. At the end of the movie, Grilla, or the Christmas witch, has created these snow globes that entrap people. And so my brain went, that's basically hell.
Yeah.
And Krampus comes back and tries to defeat Grilla, and he can't. And she is taking Santa Claus to go deliver these snow globes to everybody in the world. And everybody who's naughty will end up in her collection. And she finally gets what she thinks the world needs. Which, I'm not going to pause and then I'll keep going. Which made me think about the fact that Satan is doing what he thinks the world needs right now.
Do you think that's it? I don't think that's it. I think he's just trying to...
Well, but he's giving the world something. He is making, he thinks the world needs this whatever, or to get people to not follow God.
Yeah, I don't think it's out of a, this is what the world needs. I think it's out of a, fuck God, I hate everything.
Right, mine's kind of a stretch. So, basically, Satan is trying to keep us all away from God, in relationship with God. And so this Christmas witch, Grilla, I'm just going to say Christmas witch, my brain can't do the other one. She is going to entrap people who are naughty and enslave them in snow globes forever. And hell is separation from God forever. And when she's finally defeated, Santa Claus screams this Greek word that I couldn't even try to say.
Kavalalam or something. Something.
He can't even, I don't even think he's probably saying the word correctly because he screams it. And the reindeer, which I do appreciate, they said they were all female because male reindeer lose their antlers in the wintertime.
See, this is a total tangent, but they will do the reindeer thing correctly. But they have a German myth screaming a Greek word. It is going to bug me. Anyway.
I mean, I wonder if there was a good, what's the German word for whatever that Greek word meant?
I don't know. I'll look it up while you're chatting.
So the reindeer come flying back in at light speed. You can't even see him. And they knock Grilla into this sled that has all these snow globes in it. And Grilla ends up getting trapped in a snow globe because Grilla's naughty. And so I thought about how when Jesus returns, Satan is going to be thrown into hell forever.
That's not as fun in German.
See? I wondered if that's why.
Lass uns fahren or auf geht's. Or even steig ein.
Yeah,
there's
none of those are as fun and as
no, but
commanding.
It would just,
I know.
It's consistent.
I value that. Anyways, so I saw that picture of when Jesus defeats Satan, he is thrown in hell forever.
Well, it brings up an interesting misconception that people have about Satan, which is that he is the ruler of hell and that his purpose is to punish people. And that's not true.
Correct.
He is being punished along with the punished.
But that's how I grew up, is Satan runs hell.
That's how I grew up too. Yeah.
And then, but like, I think it's been in the last like 3 months that it dawned on me that hell is separation from God and God's wrath for us not choosing and obeying him.
Yeah. So it's funny.
And he will be thrown into the lake of fire with us.
Yes. This week, a friend of mine posted a quote from Mark Twain that's something to the effect of, in all of these thousands of years, who has ever prayed for Satan? And around the time of my rededication, my thing at the time, he had brought it up too. I think it was even before that. He had said something like that too, and it got me thinking. It's like, well, yeah, who does pray for Satan? But there's scripture that explicitly says not to pray for Satan. It's in James. So this motif of villainy comes up in a lot of movies. And I think recent movies, it has become more common to make the bad guy like really relatable, like to humanize him. They didn't do that with Grilla, obviously. But it has kind of set this path for people having empathy for the villain. Like, oh, they're this way because of this terrible thing that happened to them. Right. Whereas Satan, there's no empathy to be had for Satan. The Bible doesn't say whether or not he has free will. I mean, we can theorize about it until we're blue in the face, but it doesn't say explicitly.
So it's not something we're getting.
But regardless of what is true in that instance, is that he was closer to God than we have ever been, and he turned away from God. Yeah. He committed the blaspheming of the Holy Spirit. He committed the unforgivable sin. The unforgivable. He is beyond redemption. And there is a layer of, now that we're talking about this, I kind of appreciate from Grilla, like, she is unredeemable. When stories go so bold as to create a character that is beyond redemption, there's nothing humanized about him. There's no good parts of it. I really appreciate when people go that route, because it seems like they don't even do it anymore. And like, even in Marvel movies, there's a humanization of the villain that makes people feel for the villain, and it kind of softens the blow of wicked and evil.
Right. No, I agree. I did appreciate that about this movie.
Yeah.
As well.
Another side note, Grilla is a Icelandic myth, and obviously Krampus and Santa are German myths. But after I looked up the thing about Grilla, man, Iceland is Germanic. The Germans have a thing about punishment. Like,
I mean, I could see
Krampus that. Krampus is about punishing kids naughty, and Grilla is about punishing naughty, which speaks to the inherent sense of justice that humans have that want to punish naughty. But when that actually happens, it's not, when it happens from God, then everybody's like, whoa, what a bad guy. What a bad guy. Punishing good people. Well, excuse me, but
I'm not good.
No, nobody is on their own.
No, not one.
No, not one.
No, not one. I think the other interesting part of that story was, so it towards the last, 15, 20 minutes of the movie, Jack and his son end up in a snow globe, because technically they're both naughty. And when they're sitting there in the snow globe, Jack, who is I don't even know, he's one of the bad guys who turns good. He's the bad guy they humanize. I don't know if he fully was a bad guy, but like,
he's the stand-in for the audience in the movie. Like, he's the character that watching the movie is like, this is all ridiculous. You're all being very serious, and I just saw a headless like this. He is the stand-in for the audience in the movie.
So they've been snow globed, and they're sitting there, and he has this moment where he's talking to his son, and he essentially apologizes for being a bad dad.
Yeah.
And says he's going to try harder. And because he took a step towards good, the snow globe breaks. Mm-hmm. There was a line in there, and you're going to have to help me remember, where the Rock's character, who's the head like commander security elf, he says something like Santa always says, or Red always says, because they didn't call him Santa, they called him Red. Red always says each new day is a day to try, or something.
Something to that effect, yeah.
And that got me thinking.
Scripture.
Yeah, I was going to say, it got me thinking about what Ronnie said, or what Ronnie's going to say. I forget this episode's coming out before.
Oh, yeah, well, yeah.
So we interviewed, just teaser, you need to listen to this. It was actually a really good conversation. But Jessica's friend Ronnie, and in it, he was saying how each new day is a day to be grateful and a day to try and a day to give your all. And that reminded me, as this did, of the scripture in Lamentations 3:22 and 23 and 24 about his mercies are new every morning. Great is his faithfulness. Like every morning we get new mercies from the Lord to try again.
Right. What is so fascinating to me, and it is one of the things when I started thinking about Christianity that kind of pushed me in the direction of like, there's something really significant going on here, is people will latch on to the mythos of Santa or the mythos of a superhero. Like they will latch on to these archetypes, and you can tell that they desire that kind of savior until it's Jesus. And then they absolutely shut down. And Jesus is the only one that gets that visceral reaction from people. And I think that is proof that there's something supernatural going on.
Oh, 100%.
Because the way that Santa is portrayed in that movie is like all good, and he accepts everybody and he loves everybody. And the punishment side of it is put on these troll characters, these gnarled, angry characters, and it's portrayed as a bad thing. But if you don't have punishment, then what kind of world is that?
It's not one I want to be a part of.
No, me either.
Like I've been thinking about things and conversations had recently, and if there wasn't consequences to things I did, I would never change.
Right. Right.
Like,
well, there's another one this will come out before is your sisters, who said the exact same thing. If
mom and dad weren't who they were,
if there weren't consequences for her actions, she doesn't know if she would have pulled her head out.
Yeah. Like, and I even think about it, like, she told me some things I said and did, and thank the Lord for her grace. But like, if I wouldn't have walked through what I walked through with my ex-husband, and even some of the stuff before that, I wouldn't have ever changed. Like, it took a miracle from the Lord and him showing me how absolutely horrible my actions were.
Right.
How much damage they were doing.
This Santa story encapsulates the feel-good parts of the Christmas story. Mm-hmm. That Jesus was born for our redemption.
Yep. And
for everybody. And it puts the feel-good part into this little bubble where it's just like all good, and it's, it misses the side. The Krampus side is necessary. Like the punishment side is necessary.
So I watched a Hallmark movie recently. I think it's called She's Making a List is what I think it's called. And it was a movie. I watch Christmas movies 24/7 starting in like October. It's fine. It's me. It was a movie where they were a company that Santa used to check his list. And like if somebody was teetering either way, they'd go out and look, and they had this formula, and Santa would deliver coal. And so in the movie, if you know Hallmark movies, I'm not going to explain it. Figure it out. In the movie, the male lead was like, yeah, my wife dies. My daughter is grieving, and she does things that are naughty, and she gets coal. And I literally go out and I buy her all the toys and all the things. And I find anything in that house to wrap. I do all of these things on Christmas morning and hide the coal because my daughter, who just lost her mother, can't get coal. And so this movie did portray it as getting coal. But the problem was I talk about Christmas way too much. I'm hearing myself.
It's a Christmas episode. It's fine. Okay.
But the problem is the guy who owned the checking the list company, he always got coal because he was seen as naughty because of the things he did. But like, it made him worse in the movie. And eventually but he was just he was the bad guy of the movie. Which is odd for Hallmark. Anyways, some movies are trying to like but most of them geared towards families and kids don't.
Right. Well, I know this is a family movie, so as a family movie, it's fine. But as a story being told, for the purpose of impact, it falls short in a lot of ways. It could have, I don't even think that it was really implied, but it kind of visually was implied that the whole world was going to be trapped in snow globes.
Well, they said billions. Right.
I mean, it was just the what was it, level 4 naughty listers or whatever. Yeah. But for the most impact, it should have been portrayed as like, well, technically everybody's on the naughty list. Yeah. It's not a good works based thing. It's you did a naughty thing, so you're a naughty person thing. Yeah. And the scene where I mentioned this while we were watching it, the scene where they are trapped in the snow globes, Jack and his son, it's a very low stakes scene. Like, it doesn't last very long. The witch shows up and she's kind of like intimidating, sort of, but then they all disappear. And when Jack breaks out, there's not even a guard there watching them. Like, it was a really low stakes movie. But as far as storytelling, impactful storytelling goes, I struggle with this watching shows and movies a lot. Like this, I struggle with it with Stranger Things. I like the show, but things have been so sanitized and they lack that punch of permanent consequence that I think part of the responsibility of storytelling is to portray those kinds of eternal consequences, the really heavy realities and the really hard to swallow truths. That's what story is for. That's I don't know if I've ever shared this guy with you. There's a YouTuber. He's an Orthodox Christian. His name is Jonathan Pajot. He's a Christian. Canadian is what I was going to say. He's Canadian, a Christian, but he's really into symbology, especially through the lens of storytelling. Mm-hmm. So this is I kind of pulled the "you made me watch this" idea from him because he does it just in terms of stories. But even if you look at Jesus as just a story, it is the most perfect story of love and consequence. Mm-hmm. Because there's eternal consequence. It's not like, oh, you get in a snow globe and you apologize for being a bad dad and you can escape it. It's you make choice after choice after choice to find yourself in the snow globe, and then you're stuck there for eternity. Yeah. Which is justice. Yeah. Like, without eternity, justice doesn't hit the same. Does that make sense?
Absolutely. Because if there's no God, or if everybody is gonna be in heaven, then why bother?
Right. Or if you have if we have chance after chance after chance, like, what is my real reason then for making the choice to be different now if I just get to do it again? Like, like the reincarnation thing. Yeah. If no matter what I do here, if I am reincarnated with a blank slate and get to do it again, really, what is the point of doing it the right way? Because doing it the bad way is, let's be honest, it's a lot more fun. It's a lot more physically and instantly gratifying. Yep.
Like, I'm even thinking, like, not reincarnation, but if we get, which we do, chance after chance after chance, but if we go back to that idea of, well, everybody's inherently good. I air quoted that because I don't believe that. But inherently good, then everybody could end up in heaven, and God is all about love. Right. then why does it matter?
Right.
Like, great, we can go murder people and it's fine.
Right. And it directly goes against that deep knowing of justice that humans have that we can't explain.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if we don't have free will, we wouldn't have the sense of justice. If we didn't have free will, there's no reason to punish people because it's not like it changes them then.
Yeah, no. And if we didn't have free will, there wouldn't be a need for punishing people because nobody would do anything.
Well, it's not their fault. So why would you punish them?
Yeah.
Because they don't have free will. It's not their fault.
It kind of makes me think about Star Trek and the Borg and how the Borg mind was controlled by one person. And so
I love the random secular things you've watched. I've never watched Star Trek. My dad likes Star Trek, but I've never watched it.
We watch Star Trek Voyager on repeat in my house.
That's hilarious.
But like, so it's controlled by one being, and they go conquer others to make more of them.
Right.
And the people doing the Borg doing the conquering don't have control. They don't have their own thoughts. Unlike everybody else, they have free will and their own thoughts, and they can be their own person. And so that's that idea of if everybody is inherently good and everybody's going to be in heaven and everybody's like, or there's no heaven, there's no hell. Like,
why?
What's the point?
What's the point? Why be good? Because I see an argument that non-believers bring up all the time. That's like, well, if you have to be threatened with hell to be good, then like that's pretty shitty that you're a bad person. And there's some truth to that. There's some weight to that. Like, if the only reason you're being good is to avoid punishment, then your intentions are still selfish in a way. Mm-hmm. But the truth is, when you sit down and think about it, and I know this because I've been there, I was at this crossroad in my life where it's like, what is stopping me from going down this path that I know would lead to money and attention and to opportunity? Like, it would have led me down a path of worldly gain. I know that for a fact.
Right.
But when I sat down and thought about it, it was the eternal consequence that made me realize why it wasn't actually beneficial to go down that road.
Now that you've walked with the Lord for a while and you made that choice, what would you say is, or would you say that you see that it's more than just an eternal consequence, even though that's where it started?
What do you mean?
So, like, we're talking about this idea of if it's just to get out of hell. Mm-hmm. But in reality, once you've walked with the Lord for a while, it's more than just a get out of hell free card. Like, how would you say that is? In
what ways is it more?
Is it more? Yeah. Sorry, I'm not explaining.
No, you're good.
Well. Thank you for asking.
We workshopped that together. It's more in that I've realized it is a relationship, and I am in a relationship with a perfect being. So if things are going wrong, it's me, and there's no question about that. I can't.
Same.
Like, obviously, I've had relationships, and there are things that I know I did wrong. There are things I know that they did wrong, but there's a lot of murky water too, where I know we were both at fault. But when it comes to my relationship with God, if something's not going wrong, I know for a fact it's on my end. And through the course of my last relationship, I'm going to lay it out a little bit as vaguely as I can. I made the decision, because I prayed about it, to enter into that relationship in a covenantal way. Like, I knew the choice that I was making, and the choice that I was making is that I was going to choose this man, come hell or high water, for the rest of my life, unless he discarded me, which is that is what ended up happening. But that is how I went into this relationship. And I struggled a little bit after it ended because I've never prayed about anything more than I did that relationship and how I handled it. But looking back, I think that, I know that the Lord saw this was a thing that I was going to do. anyway, because I am a stubborn human. So he guided me through it, and he taught me a lot through that relationship. And now it's not just a I don't want to go to hell thing. Now it is I want to love God back. Mm-hmm. And that motivates me way more than I just don't want to go to hell.
Excuse me, I burped.
Which is a burden to carry because there's nothing I'm a flea. I can't do anything to show him love. Really? Not really.
I think the only way we can is obedience. Yes. And it's obedience to scripture. And I fell short today. I'm sure that I was a gossip today. I'm sure that I did things today or said the wrong thing or I didn't obey when God told me to. But it's that obedience to scripture. And we are almost done. We finished our 51st book of the Bible.
I'm so behind.
That's okay. Just push play tomorrow at work.
I will try.
Just push play and just listen to it and just do nothing more than listen. But some of the things God asks us to do are impossible.
Yes.
And so it does take his strength in us and his power through us to do them. Like we read the story today of Paul and his shipwreck and where he gets bitten by the viper. And I thought none of that was in Paul's strength to do.
Right.
Like it literally took him going, okay, Lord, you said we're going to live great. I'm just going to trust you. And okay, you get bit by a snake and no reaction and everybody thinks you're a god and you heal people. And if it was in Paul's strength, he would have died from the snake bite.
Right.
And so like us today, it is with God's power.
Right. Right.
That we do anything.
What is coming to mind is, first of all, I'd like to go on the record. People who know me know this. I am vehemently opposed to Santa. And I have been my entire life. I found out Santa wasn't real. I was in 5th grade. And I don't remember I don't remember the way I asked the question, but my mom says that the way I asked her was basically like, is Santa like Jesus? And she felt compelled in that moment to tell me the truth. And it broke my heart, not because Santa wasn't real, but because my mom lied to me. It was like my first heartbreak. I felt it. I was devastated, and it changed the course of my relationship with my parents. And then over the coming years, there were a few more instances where I felt like, looking back, I know that they were just doing it to protect me, but they were lies. And I remember after that happened, it was like, if I ever have a child, I will not do Santa for them because you're lying. You're lying to your kid. It's a lie. I'm sorry. I understand why people do it. People I love do it, and I understand why they do it, but you're lying to your child. And the story of Santa, it takes away the need for repentance or for personal responsibility. I mean, it really shifts it more towards a works-based gratification, though this movie takes even that away a little bit. Like, if it were up to Santa in this movie, everybody would get a gift regardless. And like, I like the part of the heart behind that, because the way that he frames it, it's just like everybody's just a broken little child inside and they all just need love, which is true. I do think that is true. But again, the consequence side of things is necessary.
Do you know the original story of where St. Nicholas came from?
Bits and pieces.
So I believe it was Germany.
Yeah, it is.
He was a man who saw women who were unable to have a dowry to be married. And so he would put coins in their shoes because they left their shoes outside. And that's where it started.
Interesting.
It was someone sacrificially loving someone.
Right. Well, and he's actually, it's Brady, I think, posted about it. He's actually a saint. Like, he's a venerated saint. Yes.
So we took something that was a picture of Jesus.
Yeah.
Genuinely a picture of Jesus, what this man did, and turned it into what we know as Santa Claus.
Marshmallow fluff. Yeah.
All I can think of is the Tim Allen Santa Claus movies where he's this fat, overweight slob of a man and somehow he can deliver presents all over the world. I'm like...
I've only seen the first one of those.
That's all you need.
And Tim Allen is, I mean, he's an a-hole. He's an ass.
Very much so. But like that's where it originally came from when we've turned it into, oh, you better be good or Santa Claus isn't coming.
Right. It's a weapon that parents get to use.
And then there's the side of it. Here's the side of it. So I'm vehemently against it as well. My parents told me when I was 6. I also agree the fact that they're telling me to not lie, but they've been lying to me for the first 6 years of my life. Like, thank God they told me when I was 6 and not when I was like in 5th grade. Like, and I didn't have to ask the question. But one of the things I think about, and it was probably 6-7 years ago, I saw a post by somebody, I don't remember who it was, who said, please stop having the most expensive things you buy your kids be from Santa Claus. Because my kids get a $10 toy from Santa Claus and your kids get a $500 gaming system, like $500 worth of gaming systems and games and headphones and controllers. And my kids are going to Santa not love me. Was I not good enough? Was I not whatever? And the damage that causes.
Yeah. It's... When you pick it apart, it is bad. It's just bad. Mm-hmm. Yes, because I don't have kids, I haven't thought about that aspect of it. But you're totally right. It sets up an inequality for sure.
Yeah. And that takes it from we're all equal at the foot of the cross.
Right.
When we make the choice for Jesus, we become equal. There is no greater than or less than with Jesus. And so it takes that out and it shows you like, oh, you're the kid who Santa Claus gave you a $40 Lego, but I got $800 worth of a gaming system and headphones and controllers and games and a chair and a desk.
Right.
And like, what did I do or why was I naughty? And it could be that it's like, this is probably the most random example, but the kid who's getting picked on literally sees the bully getting the best gifts.
Yes.
Like, what did I do that I'm so naughty that 1, I get picked on, and 2, Santa Claus doesn't love me and I wasn't good enough. And yet the person being naughty, bullying me gets everything good.
I just am struck in this moment by my ridiculousness and how passionate I am about not doing Santa as opposed to like how I feel about Halloween. It feels like a contradiction in this moment.
It's so funny, but
I mean, Halloween has its own problems, but it's not setting up this magical creature that parents use to control their kids and lie to them.
And honestly, I believe Halloween is evil.
Well, see, but people know what Halloween is.
But there's no lie about it.
Right, exactly.
That's the difference. Santa Claus is a straight up lie.
Right.
The Tooth Fairy, the Easter Bunny, whatever. Those are all straight up lies.
Yes.
And Halloween, we all know the truth.
Right. Well, yes.
We may have made it fun and about trick or treating, but we all know what it truly is.
You saying that, it almost nails exactly my feelings on all of this. We know what Halloween is. And like horror movies, everybody knows it is obviously icky. Santa is dressed as light. Yes. And it is more dangerous, in my opinion, than dressing as a witch on Halloween.
Yes. Because we sit here and we're told not to lie. The scripture tells us that. As children, we're told don't lie. But yet the biggest thing in the year for a kid is Santa Claus, and it's a lie. No wonder why. And I'm going to get a little spicy here. Like, I don't think anybody should do Santa Claus, but I'm going to do a differentiation. If you don't know the Lord, I'm going to give you a pass and let you deal with that one on your own.
Wow.
But if you know the Lord and you claim to be a Christian, you really need to examine why you are participating in something that is so blatantly wrong.
Yes. People I love, and I have gotten sideways over this a little bit, But if you can't make Christmas special and magic without lying to your kids, you need to sit down and do some self-reflection. Sorry, I know that's a hard take.
Fair.
Say it. of all of the podcasts, this is going to be the one that people listen to and piss. It's going to piss everyone off.
Because we're going to release it right before Christmas, then they've already done their Santa shopping.
Yes.
Yeah. And you know what? Here's the deal. If you listen to this and you've done your Santa shopping, tell your kids the truth.
Yeah.
And make it different. So here's what my parents did, because my parents, we literally yesterday, so this one's going to come out before this. My sister and I we had my sister on, and it was so good. And God was so gracious and all of that. But we talked a little bit about what my parents did. And so I'm just going to spoil a little bit of it. And we didn't go into as much detail, so I'm going to go into more detail. My parents, when I was 6, so my older sister would have been 8, said, hey, Santa Claus isn't real. Tooth Fairy isn't real. Easter Bunny isn't real. And we're not participating in Halloween anymore. We're done. But instead, here's what we are going to do. Your birthday is about you. That is the day God brought you into this world. He chose to make you. He knew you. He formed you. Your birthday is about you. So your birthday, now within reason. If we asked for a game system, probably not going to get it because they were way too expensive. Right. We grew up poor. We all knew that. But your birthday is about you. You pick your meals. If your birthday was during school season, so jealous. No one else. You got the day off of school. You got to plan your party. Like mine was in summertime. So we'd set up the tent and we'd have friends spend the night and sleep outside in the tent. We'd go to the pool and you got to pick your cake and your dessert. And I mean, everything. You got to invite the people you wanted. That day was about you. Christmas, they said, we still want to get you gifts. We're going to do your stocking and we are going to do one gift. And then there was a couple years after we moved back to Wyoming where we were really, really poor. And I don't know how, and I would love to ask my parents how. So I'm going to make a note to ask them. One year they did gunny sacks where they filled our gunny sacks with our favorite things, our favorite treats, our favorite cereals, our favorite sweet snack, our favorite salty snack, our favorite drinks, our favorite whatever, like filled a gunny sack. And then the next year they did a garbage bag. But the other thing they did is they bought, and I have a stack of them over there under my TV, kids picture books that were the Christmas books. And we would read those on Christmas Eve. And that is my favorite, is when we sit around, we're all quiet, we're all calm, and someone reads one of the stories. Now, I don't know if we're getting a new book this year, but I have some that they've never read, so we could read one of mine if we needed to. But they made it special and pointed it back to Jesus at every turn. We had a ton of presents because there was 6 of us most of the time in that house for a long time. And when we were all there, there's like 17 of us. There's a lot of us. And so the amount of presents is a lot, but it was always one present for mom and dad. Right. And I really, truly think they did a really good job at making it special and making it about Jesus, but not having to lie to us.
Well, it turns out kids are surprisingly receptive to the truth when it is given in a loving way. I've been thinking about another thing this week, and it kind of bleeds into this conversation. I was driving to work one day, and I don't remember what spurred the thought, but I just thought to myself, our generation seems to have an understanding of how young 20 actually is. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, we have definitely overcorrected. And in wanting to protect children, and maybe this comes from the whole children is innocent misnomer, in wanting to protect kids, we have infantilized them to the point where I know exactly what spurred this. It was the paintball situation. And
yes.
It being chalked up to like just young and dumb. But 20, you should be old enough to recognize the consequences to your actions. Mm-hmm. But bleeding it into this conversation, kids can handle the truth.
Oh, absolutely.
And lying to them hurts them. It traumatizes them, whether it shows in their life or not. So I don't know if I've talked about this on the podcast before, the relationship I was in at the time of my rededication, he lied to me a lot and he cheated on me all the time. And when I started thinking about Christianity and the Bible, I went into researching the Bible looking for a lie, because in my mind, I related it to my experience with him, because I couldn't believe when he said he loved me, because he lied all the time.
Right.
And if there's one lie, I can't trust any of it. Mm-hmm. And that comes from my experience. This sounds dramatic, but it is one of the most vivid memories I have as a child, is the heartbreak I had when I found out my parents lied to me about Santa. It deeply affected me. And lying, I think we've talked about this at one point. Lying is one of those things that gets chalked up to as like necessary to preserve people's feelings, mm-hmm. and to create this illusion that things are better than they are, like in Santa for kids. Yeah. But it's unnecessary. It's unnecessary, and it's
harmful.
It is very harmful.
Like, having been the kid who lied a lot.
Same.
My parents didn't trust me.
Yeah, same.
Like, I am watching my friends raise their kids, and one of them, their child, is borderline pathological liar. Love this child to death. Like, will do anything. Like, ready for prison ministry, anything. Yeah. But this child tells a story, and all of us go, and we have to go verify to make sure what they said was true.
You know, it is shocking to me the amount of people that do that just casually. Like, I've seen it so many times in people I know that will be talking about their experience with me, or like how long they've known me or something, and they're just making shit up. And it's like, mm-hmm. that didn't happen. What are you doing? People lie so casually and easily now.
Yeah. Well,
and maybe always. I don't know. I've only been alive for 36 years.
I think always, but I think it's becoming more noticeable to you and I, because our eyes are being opened by the truth of God's word. But like, I keep thinking about the people that say, little white lies, they're fine if it protects somebody's feelings. No. But no, like, if you have to lie to protect someone's feelings, or if you have to lie to be part of a conversation, don't talk.
It's selfish. You're just being selfish.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because you're not lying to protect someone's feelings. You're lying to protect yourself from how they're going to react from the truth.
Bingo. And if you have to protect yourself from how they're going to react to what you're going to say, because maybe what you're going to say isn't true, and it isn't good, and isn't right, and it isn't honoring of anything, God, let alone anything else. Like maybe just don't say it and go deal with your own heart issues.
Right. Yes.
Like, let me tell you, there were some things I wanted to say to a specific person this week because of their ridiculous belief in someone else's lies. It's not worth it.
Well, the way I see it manifest the most in the way that people think is harmless is when, between friends, when someone asks another person to do something with them and they don't mm-hmm. want to, they make up a lie instead of just saying no. No is a complete sentence. And you don't have to lie. You're not... In that instance, it makes more sense that I still don't condone it, but I'm just working through this. It makes more sense because I used to do this too. I would lie to people because I felt bad that I didn't want to do things with them. And I knew that if I had this really legitimate reason for not wanting to hang out with them, that they would not view me as less and it wouldn't hurt them, instead of just me saying no, I don't want to, no thank you.
Yeah.
It has become really normalized to lie in that situation, and I see people do it all the time. Mm-hmm. Well, and another little teaser for Ronnie's episode, which will come out on New Year's Eve.
It'll be a little over a week after this one comes out.
his story is fantastical.
Oh, yeah.
But, and I told my mom about this because she was interested in how that went. One of the reasons I'm inclined to believe all of the fantastical things he says is, first of all, he's really humble about it. But also, when he was telling you about how we knew each other, he didn't embellish. He didn't make things up. Mm-hmm. It was the truth. It was just the truth. And that happens so infrequently in my experience anyway.
I actually think you told me more of how you guys knew each other than he told me.
Well, it took a second for me to remember how it actually happened.
But like even before.
Yeah.
Before it was like, yeah, we were just in the same circle. It's basically all I would say. Yeah. And they're like, no, but wait, remember this?
Yeah. it was just the truth. Like, I had another experience recently where I ran into someone that I've known for a while. I worked with them when I was in my early 20s. And we ran into each other in public around people that know us both, but, they don't know us.
They didn't know you knew each other.
And that person said something about knowing me since high school. And I was like, and I called him out right then and there. I was like, nuh-uh. No, you didn't. We work together. That's how we know each other. And they stumbled over it really hard. And I was like, but what?
Why was that necessary?
Right. Why was
Who
it
cares
necessary?
if you knew each other from high school or in your 20s when you worked together? Like, who cares?
Right.
Like, were they trying to hide something from some season of life or I don't know. Like, that stuff really frustrates me. Like,
it seems to come up most. People lie to make themselves look better. Mm-hmm. And like,
I've been guilty of that.
Oh, me too. But that's why I understand the gravity of how harmful lying is because I was a liar. I did a lot of damage. Mm-hmm. There are some lies. A couple people know the truth, but for the most part, I will be taking things to my grave with me because I mean, there's no reason. I've repented. I've confessed to people that need to know. But beyond that, like.
Yeah. And you and God have dealt with it.
Yes. And mercifully, he has handled the situation.
Yeah.
He has handled the situation.
So how do we, here's the struggle I'm having. There are people in my life who, well, no, not even struggle. So there are people in my life who I can't talk to. Like, I'm trying to be really cautious how I say this and really big. If I say something, even if I am 1000% right, all it does is cause harm. I could say the sky is blue. If they believe the sky is purple, I will do harm. So here is my challenge is sometimes maybe we shut our mouths.
Well, it's the pearls before swine thing, I think.
Right. But like maybe the way to love them. And because these are people in my life that it's not like my ex-husband where I can go, you are a pathological liar. You can't stop lying. You have still caused damage. You are still causing problems in my world. Apparently I'm still hurt and I'm going to cry. Like, you are still causing hurt to me and people important to me and people you've already hurt more than once because of your lies. Him, I don't talk to him. I don't have to deal with him. I never have to see him again, please, Lord. But like, and if I do have to see him again, I'm not on my own. Like, but there are people in my circle that I will see and I will be around for the rest of my life that no matter what I say the wrong thing. It could be as simple as the sky is blue because we all know the sky is blue.
Right.
At some point to love those people that no matter what you say, you cause harm because of my own actions and my own choices and things I have done. It is easier just to shut your mouth instead of lie. It is easier to not say every thought that pops into your head instead of lie.
Well, in that instance, I would say that the answer is prayer.
Well, yes, the answer is prayer, but like I'm thinking you and I, let's just keep it you and I. If you ever invite me to do something and I don't want to do it,
you just say no.
I'm just going to say, hey, no, like, and I might give you a reason. I might just say, yeah, that's not something I'm interested in, but go have fun. Like, yeah, go have fun. But like the other side of it is if there is something that like character, like there's something about my character that you see is saying something going to cause harm? And is lying going to cause harm?
Right.
Like it could be a character defect in me, or it could be something that rubs you the wrong way that's not really a character defect. Like maybe sometimes we just don't say anything.
Yes.
And that's more gracious and kind than lying.
Yes, I agree.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was like, that's what my brain is thinking. I love how the Santa Claus Christmas episode is turned into stop lying.
Wow.
I mean, I kind of figured it would because it was a Santa Claus movie.
Yeah. Well, yeah. That's anytime Santa Claus. It takes so much effort for me to not
I know.
rant every time Santa comes up in conversation. I feel so strongly about it. And because of my heart, it hurt me very deeply.
Yeah. Well, yeah. And because of where God has you now, like it's probably changed and evolved even more now because God has grown and changed you from just, I was hurt by it to, you said something.
It's too.
He's a lie that is decorated as light.
Yes.
Is that how you said that?
Basically.
Similar?
Yeah, basically.
Like I thought wolf in sheep's clothing.
Yeah. Yeah, that's more dangerous than a nasty truth.
Yeah. Like we all know Halloween is evil.
Yeah.
If we choose to participate in it, that's a choice we made with our eyes wide open.
Right.
We have disguised Santa Claus as something good and light and happy and joy. Right. And
I will say this. I said this about Halloween, and I believe it about Christmas too, and the way that you celebrate Christmas. A lot of stuff in life comes down to personal conviction.
Yeah, absolutely.
And even as Christians, some people are going to be convicted of Santa, and some people are not going to be convicted of Santa. Don't hear this and think you're on the path to hell because you're celebrating Santa, or you're using Santa to celebrate. I mean, I could make the argument that you are, but like I'm not going the fear-mongery route. The point is that none of us are perfect. We all make mistakes. And unlike Santa, Jesus is perfect and he died for those mistakes and for those sins. So we're allowed the grace. We don't have to perform well to get the gift from him. He gave it freely because he loves us.
But if you are being convicted, I 100% agree with Jessica, but if you are being convicted about it, I know that everybody's priority got their gifts and their Santa gifts and everything taken care of.
Yeah.
Like by the time this comes out, it's 3 days before Christmas.
Right.
Sit your kids down, tell them the truth, and still give them the gifts.
Yeah.
But they're from mom and dad.
I think we were talking about it before we started even watching the movie, which... Just a fun fact, it took Amber and I like 4 hours to watch a 2-hour movie because
we kept pausing to talk.
Got sidetracked. Where was I going with that? What did you just say? I lost my...
if you're feeling convicted, sit them down, tell them the truth and give them the gifts anyway.
Self-reflection.
Yep.
I don't know, because I've only been alive for 36 years. I don't know if this has always been a human problem, but I have watched it get worse with the internet and with social media. Mm-hmm. Humans are mind-blowingly bad at self-reflection. Mm-hmm. And Christians are horrible at self-reflection. Mm-hmm. And I very firmly believe that it is our responsibility to constantly challenge truth and to constantly challenge truth in the way that it reflects us, if that makes any sense. It is our duty to constantly challenge our perception of ourselves and how we measure up against the truth. Maybe that's a better way to say it. Mm-hmm. Like, I made a post about this on Halloween too. Like, Christian, it is your duty to pray about Halloween and how you handle Halloween. And that's a scary step to make, because if you're convicted of it and you ignore it, then you're being disobedient. So it's easier to just be like, oh, I'm not even going to see if I'm wrong. But we should be doing this. We should be doing the same thing about everything.
Oh, absolutely. I'm gonna caveat your thing though. The Bible clearly says in the 10 Commandments, which is the start of the law, that we still as Christians hold to today, which is interesting. We'll take those, but we won't take the rest. Anyways, I won't tangent on that. Thou shalt not lie. Do not lie.
Right.
So you are actively choosing to lie repeatedly.
Yeah.
Like, so some of it is, yes, conviction, and also God says do not.
You're right.
And it's also Santa Claus is an idol.
Yes.
There's a lot of things about Santa Claus and the way that we do Christmas as a culture that are vehemently against God and his word.
Yeah. Yes.
So some of it is it conviction, or is it you just need to start obeying the Lord?
Yeah, I think it's both.
Probably, because I think there's stages of sanctification and purification, and not everybody is going to get to the same stage at the same time.
Right.
But also, when you know the truth.
Right. Well, the way that I feel about Halloween is the way that I feel about Christmas. The difference is, again, that Halloween it's out there with what it is, and Christmas is dressed up as in light. It's a wolf in sheep's clothing.
Mm-hmm.
But the truth of both is still that. Oh, let me see if I can pull it. I didn't go to sleep until like 5 a.m, and then I barely slept. And then I had coffee, so I am wired.
You're all sorts of wired and tired.
Wired and tired, yes. It is that as a Christian, you should be constantly striving to do everything in a way that honors God.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe, in the context of our reality, given the gray, we live in the gray, that there are ways to do Halloween in a way that honors God, depending on where you're at in your walk.
Mm-hmm.
And it looks different for Halloween and Christmas, obviously. But because Christmas is dressed up as this festive, lovely, light thing, people are less inclined to stop and look at what they're doing. And again, I will harp on this. Maybe this is my hot take, my most controversial take. Sin dressed up as a lie is more dangerous than just outright sin.
Oh,
or
absolutely.
sin dressed up as light, excuse me. Sin dressed up as light is more dangerous than just outright sin.
Absolutely it is. It's that, and I know there's scripture, I don't know where it's at specifically, but Satan is out to deceive. And
yes,
he's going to take something and tweak it 1 degree off.
Right.
Or 1/10 of a degree off.
Right.
And you're going to think, oh, this is fine.
Right. But this
is just how the culture celebrates Christmas. It's fine. This is what we do.
But there will be red flags.
Yeah.
When I first started conceptualizing this, I was thinking about like Hollywood and celebrities,
mm-hmm.
and how charismatic they look. And I was researching narcissistic personality disorder at the time. And then when I started researching sociopathy, which is a controversial thing to talk about now in terms of mental health, but regardless, and psychopathy, especially those two, people who have those tendencies or are very deep in that side of the spectrum are often, on the surface, they look fantastic. They are really charismatic. They're usually very talented. They're usually very intelligent. But if you know anything about humans, you can see the very small cracks.
Mm-hmm.
And it's bait. That light is bait to bring you into the darkness.
Mm-hmm.
And, at least with Halloween, you're going into the abyss.
Yep.
With Santa, you don't necessarily. I mean, you do, but it's easier to be blinded by the light.
Yeah. And for people who don't follow Jesus and aren't believers, whatever, Santa's fine. It doesn't matter because you're not a follower of Jesus.
I mean, I guess, but you're still lying to your kids.
Agreed.
So.
But like, I'm thinking of this in the context of once you're a believer, your standard changes.
I understand that. I'm thinking about it in the context of psychology, and you're still hurting your kids.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I agree. But like this wolf in sheep's clothing idea. Yes. Do we want the people who don't know Jesus to know Jesus and know the truth? Absolutely.
It is so funny to me right now that our Christmas episode is more hellfire and brimstone than our Halloween episode was.
Our Halloween episode was salvation based, and this is like do better.
Yeah.
Christians do better. Like, you know, the standard.
That's so
it makes me happy on so many weird levels. It's ridiculous. People are going to be like, these two are psychotic. It's fine.
That's why you listen. Join us on the adventure.
Crazy. It's fun. But like, I keep thinking about this, like, when I was a child, I thought as a child. Mm-hmm. And now that I'm fully grown, I know, what is it? Things all the more. What is that scripture?
I don't know. I can find it.
We can Google it. But like that idea when you don't know the Lord, when you're a child. Are you finding it for me?
I believe so. I think.
But when you don't know the Lord, you don't know the full picture. Like, you don't see things.
That's the Corinthians one. The love. Yeah, I don't
it's have 1 Corinthians 13.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm on it.
Yes, I don't have the whole thing saved.
That's okay. I have my Bible up right here.
Ryan Charles released a new song. He released it. Well, you don't know who Ryan Charles is. You don't know who Ryan Charles is. I do not know who that
Someone is.
Listening
1 Corinthians 13:11. When I was a child. So I'm going to back up. The first section of this scripture talks about how you love people. Like,
and what love is.
And what love is. You know what? I'm just going to do it. If I speak human or angelic tongues but do not have love, I am a noisy gong or a clanging cymbal. If I have the gift of prophecy and understand all mysteries and all knowledge, which would be so nice, and if I have all faith so that I can move mountains but do not have love, I have nothing. And if I give away all my possessions, and if I give my body in order to boast, but do not have love, I gain nothing. Love is patient. Love is kind. Love does not envy. It is not boastful. It is not arrogant. It is not rude. It is not self-seeking. It is not irritable. And it does not keep a record of wrongs. That's a hard one for me. Love finds no joy in unrighteousness, but rejoices in the truth. It bears all things, believes all things, hopes all things, endures all things. Love never ends. But as for prophecy, they will come to an end. As for tongues, they will cease. As for knowledge, it will come to an end. For we know in part, we prophesy in part. But when the perfect comes, talking about Jesus, the partial will come to an end. When I was a child, I spoke like a child. I thought like a child. I reasoned like a child. And when I became a man, I put aside childish things. For now we see only a reflection as in a mirror, but then face to face. Now I know in part, but then I will know fully as I am fully known. Now these three things remain: faith, hope, and love. But the greatest of these is love.
So I caught a little piece of that I don't think I've ever caught before. And how funny that it's because we just watched that damn movie. Love does not find joy in unrighteousness. Like, if you read that whole thing and you miss that piece, love is...
But rejoices in truth.
If you read that whole thing and you miss that little nugget, love is that thing that accepts all. That there's... Mm-hmm. If you miss that piece, it can be taken as punishment is not love, or like consequence is not love. But that tiny little piece right there solidifies that consequence is love. Mm-hmm. And in terms of free will, consequence is love.
Yeah, because, well, the reality is if God did not love us, he would not have sent his son to take our punishment, to take the wrath.
Right. And the end of that movie is, what is that? Calvin Drift? Is that his name? I don't know.
The head elf.
Which
is funny.
It is him seeing the adult character as a child. And when I watched it in the theater, because I'm a softie, that it made me tear up because that's so sweet. But that's a grown ass man. Thank you very much. And the things that he was doing were shitty. He was a terrible father.
He was a terrible human.
A terrible human. And to revert everybody into, this is a big thing in like pop psychology, I think, and alternative psychology, is embracing your inner child. But like, we're adults now. We're adults now. And the understanding we have of the decisions we make, we cannot be a child. You can't be a child again. Once you see, you can't unsee.
Mm-hmm. I think there's this, I get it, I understand it, because there's this thing of like, oh, my inner child was hurt. I was hurt as a child, so my inner child was hurt. So now this is whatever. But in all honesty, like, Mom and I talk about this all the time. Like, my parents have apologized for things, and I say, Mom, yeah, did you guys allow us to overeat? Absolutely. But I am a grown adult who made grown adult decisions, right. And my grown adult decisions led me to gain even more weight.
Right.
I could have made different decisions. Yes, it stems from my childhood, but I made grown adult decisions.
Right.
And they're my consequences to bear, not yours, mine.
Well, and that's that infantilization thing, because realizing, 20 is young. Like, I was really naive.
I was stupid at 20.
At 20. But the trend has been pushing the accountability farther into life.
Like into 30s.
Yeah. Whereas I was still lying a lot in my early 20s. I had an experience in high school that was the biggest, most damaging lie I've ever told. And that, by the grace of God, that kind of, it had me pump the brakes on the big lies. But I was still lying into my 20s. And the weight of it didn't hit me until I was lied to by my ex. What am I trying to get at with this is, it's interesting to me. People talk out both sides of their mouth, right?
Been there, done that.
On one side of the coin, people understand that when it comes to other people, at least, at a certain point, you are who you are because of your choices. You can't blame your past. You can't blame your parents. Your brain is formed. You are who you are because this is who you're choosing to be. But coming up alongside that, it is becoming a bigger trend to push that point farther into life, where you're still considered a boy at 20, where you're still considered a child at 20, and you're not. You're not. I mean, there's a transition period. I don't think you're fully an adult either at 20. Maybe that's not always been the case, but it's definitely the case now. Like, right. 20-year-olds now are not fully adults.
Well, I think that's because, like, I think about what my parents did, and for all the hard, one of the things they did is they never called us teenagers. They said, you're young adults. You're right. Learning how to be adults. This is your season to learn. They didn't kick us out of the house at 18. They gave us space to learn more how to be an adult. Eventually, it was like, okay, it's time. But it wasn't right at 18. And I'm so grateful for that. But I think about my nephew who's 17, my brother who's 18, their friend who's 17, and I'm looking at them, and their friend is 20. I'm looking at them and I'm going, yes, you were all raised in a similar environment to me. There is a lot of relaxed rules that you didn't have, and there's a lot less expectations on all of you. But none of you have lived enough life to make a grown adult decision.
Right.
Because we have taken the ability to teach them to make grown adult decisions. And I know my dad has given my brother chances to make grown adult decisions while he has not been a grown adult. And so, like, we also don't call them up to adulthood.
Right.
It's, oh, you're a teenager. Okay, you're now a young adult, and these are your years to be dumb and stupid. And then, like, there was probably 2018 to 22, this thing going around of like, oh, your brain doesn't fully form till you're 25. So like those are your years to be stupid. But then I really didn't feel like an adult, and my life changed until 27. So like, it was a cool thing. Like, when you turn 27, that's when you become an adult. And I'm like, but you're an adult.
Right. There's there's a middle ground, and we're really bad at middle grounds.
Oh, yeah.
Really bad at middle grounds because allegedly, I've never viewed this, so I'm just taking what people who say they viewed it, that your brain isn't fully formed until 25. And just from my experience, the way that I understand, like there are things that I've always understood to be true, but the way that I understood them at 20 is much different than how I understood them at 30. Like your capacity and capacity of depth of understanding is very different between 20 and 30. And I think that's true across the board. It's true now, and it's been true throughout humanity.
I feel like your understanding between 30 and 36 and 38 is different.
Absolutely.
Like things I understood at 30, I understand so much differently now.
Yes, I fully agree.
And so like you never stop learning. Hold on, let me caveat this. If you are a person willing, you never stop learning.
Right.
And growing and changing and seeking. I'm going to get a little preachy. Believers, non-believers, you can listen, but this is not at you. Never quit seeking the face of the Lord to change and grow. My sister said things yesterday, and this will come out in January, that I don't remember saying to her. I don't remember it. Like, I have racked my brain for 24 hours. I may never remember, but like the person I was back then is not who I was 6 years later. And it's definitely not who I am today. I don't remember saying it, but I still took ownership of it. Like I said it, I don't remember it, but I'm going to take ownership because you do, and it hurt and it caused damage. And so if we are following the Lord, we never stop growing closer to God.
Right.
That is the goal.
Right.
Not just get out of hell, but to grow closer in relationship to the Father.
I've been thinking about the age thing a lot for a long time.
What do you mean the age thing?
Well, we've talked about it a few times, and I will die on this hill. I still find age gap relationships very disturbing. When it is someone over the age, this is me being a little bit more liberal, but someone over the age of 30 pursuing and being in a relationship with someone under the age of like 23. That is when it is most disturbing to me. But I have been considering and challenging myself on how much of that comes from how young we are now, still at 20. Like people are still considered children at 20. Mm-hmm. And you're not a child at 20, but again, you're not an adult. Like there's a middle ground that we're never going to find because we're humans. But there is a truth, a true middle ground there where a person can shoulder consequence in proportion to their age. And the older you get, the more that grows, obviously.
Right.
But we now are treating our young adults as children. Like my mom had me when she was 21, and I don't think my parents were ready to have kids. I think they were dumb and they made a lot of stupid decisions, but I'm fine. I'm still alive. All parents falter. Nobody's perfect. Yeah. But I look at some of the people I know now that are 21. It's like, I would not trust you with a child.
No, like you have not experienced enough life.
No.
You are coming from, like, I'm thinking about my brother and his friends, and they're coming from these very sheltered, very curated worlds where, like, yes, they hear about all the things in the world, but have they experienced it? I don't know. But, like, it's like, this is what we believe and this is how it works. And if it doesn't work this way, it's wrong. But is it? Like, some things, yes. But, like, they're in this stage of life of, this is what my parents taught me. Nothing their parents taught them is wrong that I know of. And this is what truth is. And this is how it goes. And there's no gray. They are so in the black and white that there's no gray.
Well, and just from my experience, this last weekend that I told you about, it paints it. I think this plays across the board in a big way. Those people around that age are still so sheltered from the consequences of their bad behavior that they don't. It creates an entitlement, and it creates a selfishness. And also, while we're talking about this, I'm thinking about my cousin's kid just had they just had a baby, and I think he's 22, maybe 23, and she's a little bit younger, maybe 21. But they just had a baby. That makes my grandma is now a great grandma, and she'll get to meet her great grandbaby, which I think is so cool.
Yeah.
And as we're talking through this, what came to mind is when you're ready, if you're ready to have babies, and people have babies like that, the cool family things that are there are, I can't articulate this right now, but like, if I were to have a child right now at 36, we can
just say it's a girl. Your imaginary child is a girl.
It would more probably not know my grandma. Like it would meet her, but my grandma's 87.
Like to have a relationship.
To have a relationship with her.
Yeah.
And you know, I know plenty of people our age that don't have parents. So waiting so long in life to have kids, while I understand it, you deprive kids of that big family connection too. More than that, it just bled into the family dynamics and the degradation of the familial unit, and how that seems to be operation or mission number one for the enemy is to corrupt the family unit.
Yeah.
And Christmas plays into that. The Santa thing plays into the degradation of the family unit.
Absolutely. Like you talking about the family unit, we're talking about like 17, 18, 19, 20, 21-year-olds not being fully formed adults. I think about my friend Sierra, and she's not going to care that I share this. Her and her husband got married young. Like I think she was 19 or 20.
Yeah.
How long have they married? Hold on. 20, 21, I think. I have to think about math, and math is too hard. But like they literally, like, their first child was born 10 days before their first wedding anniversary.
Oh, wow.
So like but they also grew up in homes where the Lord was front and center, and they had their own relationship with God, and they had goals and they had plans, and like it wasn't this today thing of even back then for some people, but it wasn't this idea of, okay, we're in our 20s and we don't know what we're doing our whole life. My best friend graduated high school with her phlebotomy. Thank you. Wow, I could have gone so many different ways if I didn't say that right. Certificate, because BOCES, which is a cool program that pays for high school students to go to college, was a little different back then. She graduated with it. She graduated high school with her job. Her husband had a job and eventually started his own construction company. But like they had this plan and this goal, and they were building together, versus this idea of 19, 20, 21-year-olds who don't have a job. I'm not saying go to college. If you don't have a plan, and if the job you want does not require it, don't go.
Yeah.
If you want to be an electrician, go be an electrician. We need them. Great. We'll take you. Like, go do that. But to date and marry at 19, 20, 21, even 22, without those things set to where here's what our here's our starting point, and here's our future goals, and children will be part of that. And here is what our plan is. And I bet if we sat down and talked to my friend, she would say, oh, the dreams and the thoughts and the things that we thought family was going to be, we had no idea.
Right.
But like they didn't start out as 19, 20, 21-year-olds, because I don't remember. I'd have to do a lot of math to figure out how old she was when she got married. And I'm not doing math. Without a plan, without like, okay, we both know that marriage is the direction this relationship is going. Here's what we're going to have happen. Like she was working as a phlebotomist before her and her husband started dating. Like they had these things in place, and then they built together, versus like, I know 17, 18, 19 or 20-year-olds dating who, like 17-year-olds, obviously they're not old enough, but like we'll take that out, like 19, 20-year-olds dating who don't have career paths, don't have jobs, and they're getting engaged. And I'm like, we're like decades off, because I don't think, like, hot take about the family thing, and Satan, I agree, is using things like Santa could be a tongue twister, to destroy the family. But I do not believe women were created to work outside of the home. I fully believe a man was supposed to provide potential spam. I'm not answering. Sorry, my phone rang. I was making sure it wasn't my mom because I was just going to talk to her. We're going to, answer the phone for our moms. Don't believe women were made to be the provider and work outside the home. And I do believe that, yes, young, like to us, it seems young, but if you are on the right path and you have the right goals,
right.
And it can be done. Like I know people that it's living proof, but I don't think a lot of people have that. Even Christian people have that goal and desire and dream to, okay, here's what the Lord says. Here's what we're going to do.
Right. Right. So in thinking about the infantilization, I've kind of reconceptualized my understanding of, I will say this, I have zero problem with 2 early 20-year-olds having a baby if they're ready. I have no problem with that.
And they're married.
I don't have a problem with that.
I don't either.
Given the way that the world is, I think that people need to take a little time between high school and, that's a few years. A lot can happen in a few years. You need to take that time to experience the world, experience being in charge of yourself, maybe is a better way to put it, before you jump into having a family. But that's only because of the way the world is. Like, as we're talking about this, rewind 1,000 years, and at 16, you probably were ready to have a family.
Mm-hmm.
Like if there were 2 16-year-olds, I still in that situation, I still would not be okay with a 16-year-old and 30-year-old having a baby. I still would be against
like
it.
A 16 and a 19-year-old, sure.
Yes.
Like, no more than 5 years in my brain.
Yes. And without existing 1,000 years ago, I can't tell you for sure, but knowing what I know about people, I still am against age gap relationships, even in biblical times.
It was gross.
And I don't know. I don't know if 16-year-olds were ready to have babies back then, but they were definitely more ready than 16-year-olds now to have babies.
Well, so Jewish, I don't want to say legend, custom, that's the word I'm looking for, was from when they could start to learn to read until like 7. They would memorize the Torah, the first 5 books of our Bible, by 7. And then from 7 to 12, they would learn 7. Like, think about that. How many of us know a 7-year-old would learn a trade? So whether that was the girl learned how to be a wife and a mom and cook and clean and sew and like whatever that was, because we know from the Proverbs 31 woman that women were not like, women were inside of the home and the one was a businesswoman and like, but so it wasn't just the home things. And then the boys would go learn the father's trade, or they would go learn how to be a religious leader, a Pharisee or a Sadducee. And at 12, they were considered an adult.
Right.
But it was definitely a different culture.
Right.
If we considered a 12-year-old an adult now, oh my gosh.
Well, I would have to live in that time to experience what a 12-year-old was like, but I would still wonder if it wasn't extreme in the opposite direction, where they were pushing it too young instead of pushing it too late. You know what I mean? Yeah. Because so I had a thought. Let's see if I can tease it out again. People like to say that is true because people didn't live as long back in the day, and I can't get on board with that. I don't think that's why. I think people were pushed into adulthood very quickly because of maybe the harshness of life, but also maybe a better understanding of how capable we are earlier to take on responsibility.
Oh, absolutely. I was actually thinking like maybe the answer to the middle ground is we start giving our children responsibilities. Like, I think our parents' generation was traumatized by something because, like, I don't know about you, but I observed that children didn't have chores. Like, our peer group, our generation didn't have chores. They played video games. Mom cleaned rooms. Like, there was no responsibilities given.
Yes.
And that our parents' generation walked away from the church.
Yeah.
So now we have our generation having children. And those, oh my gosh, some of the next generation are having children. That's a terrifying thought. But like,
yeah, Gen Z is our parents now. Oh some gosh. Of them.
But like, you think about it, and like my friend Sierra, she gives her children age appropriate responsibilities. She gives them some things that I feel like are not age appropriate, right. But her and her husband have decided they are. Right. And that's their parenting choice, to the point where their children are responsible enough to do things and are being trained to be responsible, so that by time they hit 18, 19, 20 years old and they're making decisions of what their future looks like,
right,
they'll be able to execute it and do it. And yes, they'll still have mom and dad to help, and they'll still have mom and dad to talk to and lean on. But it won't be like the majority of our culture where now you finally need responsibility and have no clue what to do.
Right. Right. I would wonder if putting full adulthood on a 12-year-old back then was even still too much. I would bet it was too much to put full adulthood on a 12-year-old even 1,000 years ago.
I don't know. And that's just what they say the custom was.
Right.
It could be that it's changed. Like,
right. Well,
because we weren't there, we don't fully know.
Right. That's one of those things that, as far as I've read now, there's no biblical standard for adulthood. It's just that it paints the middle ground for, at around 12, a person is ready to take on more responsibility. Are they ready to take on full adulthood? No, I don't believe so. Probably not even then. But as we have developed in every way, we have an understanding of childhood that they didn't have back then, and we have overcompensated in the other direction. And to tie this back into the Santa shenanigans, the way that we celebrate Christmas infantilizes us.
I'm going to ask a dumb homeschool question that I shouldn't ask. Please explain that to me, because my brain is trying to process it.
It basically means that, well, like the situation with the paintball.
Got it. Okay, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
Okay.
So if you're listening, I need to explain. I'm not going to explain that situation. But infantilizing is treating someone below where they are developmentally.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Like telling kids that obviously no, Santa is not real, that he's real.
Yes.
And that like he's telling kids that he's the magic of Christmas.
Yes.
Got it.
Yeah.
I was trying to tie it into our original.
Yeah. I would say that Santa, the way that we celebrate Christmas, infantilizes people in that it treats people as if they're stupid in a way.
That's kind of where my brain was going. Is like we're treating people.
You can't handle the truth of this situation.
I love that I started off with like the snow globes were like eternal separation from God, because the bad guy ends up in the snow globe too. Now we're talking about like lying and you can't handle the truth.
Right.
Interesting.
Yeah.
We went an interesting rabbit hole down this one.
Yeah, but I
tend to be when it's just you and I.
Well, right. And I'm sleep deprived and caffeine, and
I'm sleep deprived.
Yeah.
So I don't think this one needs to be 2 hours.
Well, it's an hour and a half.
So if you were to, because we kind of talked about Christmas and the lying and the whatever, if you were to encourage believers, I'm going to do a two-part. If you were to encourage believers and then also encourage non-believers, how would you encourage them to celebrate Christmas differently in even like what they do, like ideas and options?
I would encourage people to spend less money and spend more time with your family, to appreciate what we have in 2025, how spoiled we are, genuinely. I mean,
yes.
People don't believe that, but if you're listening to this, you're in the top 1% of the wealth of the world. Like, we are so spoiled in 2025. I would encourage people to be grateful for what they have and not material things, their family. I mean, maybe material things like your home and stuff. I would encourage a gratitude for what you have. And I would encourage people to shift from buying gifts to serving the people that you love in some manner, creating an experience more than anything. I have a problem with gifts that we'll get into someday, but that's for everybody. For Christians specifically, I would encourage you to take time to pray about Santa and the way that you're celebrating Christmas, and be humble and be open to change in that area.
I agree. So I would encourage everyone, basically everything Jessica said, but I would also add, find others to serve.
Yeah.
Like, it's so silly. But my parents, and I don't know how long ago they started it, we make Christmas sourdough Christmas sugar cookies for Christmas and decorate them and do all the things. And we make plates and take them to all the loaf and jug gas stations in town. I think it's like 6. And it's just a moment to take something to those people who are working on Christmas Eve and say, hey. And I know that I actually used to work at one of the hotels in town, and I worked every holiday. Every holiday. Even though I'd requested off first, I still somehow was the one who worked. And there was 2 Christmas Eves where my parents brought the like 6 of us that were working that night 2 huge trays of treats. Like, I didn't even get to a Christmas Eve service. And so like I'm working, and in walks my family with 2 huge trays of treats for us to say, hey, we see you, we love you. Like, you guys, we know you're working and not with family, and so here's a little bit of Christmas joy. And so, like, it may be the silliest thing to go give the gas station people cookies, or you may go to, I don't know, somewhere else, whatever brings your family joy and your family would enjoy doing, but serve someone else as a group.
Because I'm a fan of baby steps, I think that is a great idea, and maybe I'm just being pessimistic. If your family is in a place where you can serve others, yes, absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
If you're not, build up your family, serve each other,
absolutely.
And then like every year push yourself more in like this season.
If the one thing you could do, like maybe it is one small thing where, say it's you and your siblings, like I'm going to throw my family in, there's 7 of us. So 7 kids, mom and dad, all the spouses. Maybe we go to Walmart and grab an angel tree tag, and we, as a family, put a good chunk of money, because if you all throw $10, $15 in, then it becomes a really good chunk of money, and buy a different kid Christmas.
Yeah. I like getting into the weeds in this one. Just as you're talking, what I'm thinking about is a person listening to this who is maybe struggling with their family, is on the outs. Holidays are hard for them. Mm-hmm. And what came to mind is a conversation we've had before about it's the church. Obviously the church is supposed to serve the community, mm-hmm. but a place that the church seems to miss frequently is serving those inside the church. So if you're listening to this and you struggle during the holidays and your family struggles, do something to serve your family first this year. Don't push it on your family to go do something else. Just build that up slowly, where every year be the example. And if you can do one thing for your family and it changes them, and then next year your family all does stuff for each other and it changes, and then the year after that you take the step outside.
There's always those baby steps. I guess I was thinking in the realm of most families are together. I didn't think about the like.
Well, I'm only coming at it. Hard. I'm only coming at it because I struggle through the holidays. That's where where I'm at in the holiday season.
Yeah, and so that's a starting place. And so if you're not able to serve and do something for someone else, and maybe you're one of those people who has cut your family off for boundary's sake, and you need to because they're abusive or whatever. Hopefully you find a family to be a part of, and you choose a family. But maybe for you, it's you do go serve somebody else that you don't know. Apparently I reached my stand goal, like pushing my arms up. Oh, the watch is vibrating at me. But if you are a believer, I think I should have phrased that better. If you're a believer, go serve somebody else. If you're not a believer, I agree with everything Jessica said. That's how I should have phrased that.
I would still say it. I'm a believer, Amber.
I know, but like, you do serve other people. And I'm thinking of something specific where you are giving and serving someone, and I'll fill her in after the fact. And you are giving and loving someone that is not your family. And serving them in a really cool way. And so, you do that. And yes, I understand that family is hard. Trust me. I get it. I'm 1 of 7. But I know that even if it's hard, when we all come together and we decorate those cookies and we laugh and we have fun, and then we all fight over who gets to deliver what cookies to which gas station. Mainly it's the youngest and I fighting because I live right by one of the loaf and jugs, and I will throat punch you to be able to deliver to the gas station by my house. You think I'm kidding?
Amber throws down is what I've learned about you this week. He wants to throw down.
I do. And then I'm a giant. I all bark, no bite.
No.
Like I will be violent about, like verbally violent about, like, no, it's mine. I live there. But honestly, I don't care what gas station I deliver to. I really don't. Anyways, so I do agree with your whole pray about Santa.
And well, maybe the compromise in this area is, believer, if you're listening, pray about Santa. But even if you don't do that, pray about how you should serve this Christmas. Because my thing for the last few Christmases has been, you know what I do now. I don't want to talk about it publicly, but that is focused on my family. Mm-hmm. And for the last few years, my obedience has been in serving my family.
Sorry, I'm choking on my own slobber. Bad timing. And maybe your family is the person you need to serve if it's hard. But if your family, I think I need to caveat, if your family is in a good place and you guys just go to Christmas Eve service and then go home and you eat all the food and then you get up and you open all the presents.
Well, if you are blessed with the kind of family that could pray about it together, like your family, then yes, absolutely do that. Like, that's just the compromise is, yes, pray
like
about.
If you're in a good place with your family, then great. Find a way to serve. And if you're the person who's the matriarch or patriarch of the family and everybody listens to you, just start it and go do it alone if you need to.
Yeah.
Any other thoughts on Christmas and Santa Claus and lying and Jesus?
I mean, I think I got out my thoughts on Santa and lying.
I did too.
I don't think I've ever gone so hard in the paint on that conversation. I've never been allowed to have that conversation as candidly as we did.
Love that you're like, I need to find a hot take that'll shock your family so they know how much I can take, and you pick the one we all agree with you on.
I wasn't thinking of that in that context. I was thinking this is a conversation I struggle to have with people in general.
Because it's a hot topic button.
Yes.
Like, it's a hot button topic.
Hot button topic. Yes.
We're starting to struggle over here.
Yeah.
Like, and it's specifically a hot button topic in the church.
If I wanted to shock your family, I'd have to hang out with them a little bit more to see where everybody was at.
You'd only be able to shock a few of them.
I don't know, Amber. I don't know.
Anyways.
No, I don't think I have anything else. Do you?
I don't have anything else about this.
Okay.
My phone locked. Whether you grew up in the church, you have not met God yet, or you're somewhere in between, we're glad you're here. This isn't about having the answers. It's about being honest, because grace doesn't start with those who have it all figured out. It starts with we who are not.